I mean, again, that's a conversation that comes up over and over and over is kind of that, that dichotomy of getting paid for spending the time with your patients, but how do you quantify that? How do you present that in a way that's billable? And it's really interesting to see some of those opportunities. I know CPESN has been on the forefront of kind of, working with payers to get some of those opportunities up front to where, payers can see a quantifiable explanation of that time spent. And we've seen other ways in the past too, even through like MTM actions, where there are those opportunities. But where do you see that going in the future?
Well, I think that payers are very interested in those relationships that we have with our patients. And I think if COVID taught us anything, and it taught us a lot, it is the importance of that local healthcare. So what I'm starting to see with payers that we have conversations with is they have a hard time touching the patient. Um, if patients aren't compliant, it hurts them. It hurts their HEDIS measures, and yet they need somebody who has that relationship with the patient. So I hope that we will start to see that payers really will rely, especially on independent pharmacies and that valued relationship, because we can actually get to the patients because we know them, and they trust us, and they're in pretty routinely. So I really we are seeing that a little bit more and more. So some of the contracts that are coming our way are a lot around doing that, almost a transitions of care model to begin with, where you just come in and you do that comprehensive medication review, you try to synchronize their medications and get them on adherence packaging. And they're paying a larger amount of money up front to do that. And then they're looking at paying like a monthly fee just for the pharmacy to be in touch. So almost a per member per month type of model. Um, I I don't know how long that will last, how many of those types of contracts will come along, but it does seem like payers really are very vested in pharmacies that have those relationships.
Yeah, I mean those touch points are so valuable, and you're not getting that anywhere else in healthcare. It just makes sense. Sometimes I wonder, we talk about, so many changes and provider status. And if you look at all of the things that healthcare is paying for, does it seem like sometimes instead of kind of redefining the pharmacist role, do we need to redefine the billing mechanisms for so many of those services? Because if you put everything into, erase all the lines from part A and part B and part D and just put them in two columns of, preventative care and disease management and then hospitalization, that hospitalization column is still way more expensive. And so many things in that first column can be done at the pharmacy level.
Right. Yeah, Medicare in particular hasn't been great about paying for preventative medicine or preventative services over the years. So I agree with you. I think that utilizing the pharmacist just really has so much opportunity. And yeah, I think payers are starting to see that. I'm hopeful. I'm very much an optimist. So you're going to hear that in me today. But I'm very hopeful that that payers really are starting to understand that we can make that difference. I mean, it's been demonstrated over and over. We don't need more studies to prove it. We just need those opportunities to come to us. So um, through CPSN, I'm obviously the lead luminary in Florida, but watching what CPSN's done across the country, watching these various contracts that have happened in other states, and the types of savings that have been demonstrated to the healthcare system is very encouraging to me. And I really do believe that we're starting to see a trajectory of increase in that, um, getting to the point where patient care services is enough to support our bottom line. I don't think that's going to happen in 2023, but I think we're on the right I think we're on the right path. And I do believe that in the next few years, more and more of these are going to come our way.